Soul 3, a realistic epic fantasy adventure for adults, by J.N. Wdowski. Note: for your full enjoyment, be sure to read or listen to the end and continue to the next chapter. Chapter 43. Yes, sir, we can do that, the industrial robot replied. In the cabinet behind you, you will find completed units we maintain. Zoop turned the handle of the stainless steel cabinet, opening the doors. On the upper shelf, he discovered scores of thin black tubes that ended with glass lenses. The lower shelf held a dozen larger black and yellow box-shaped objects. They had much larger glass lenses. Gun grips with triggers were attached to them. These are flashlights? Yes, sir. 40 tactical flashlights for weapon mounts, and 12 portable searchlights for rescue work. On the first floor, you will find a dozen service flashlights in the cabinet near the main entrance door, along with 10 Warson rifles that already have attached tactical flashlights and infrared scopes. There are also 10 composite armor vests for surface sorties, just like yours. The android pointed one of his black rubber-tipped fingers at Dale's armored vest. In addition, you will find 2 military-grade walkie-talkies. Walkie-talkies? Dale asked the human-like machine. Yes, sir. Tactical handheld communication systems with a 20-mile range in open spaces. It replied with its expressionless mechanical face. You mean you can communicate with others 20 miles away? Zup asked. The machine's head turned to Zup. Yes, sir. We do have satellite-based walkie-talkies that are still functioning that would give you unlimited range. Yet the geocentric communications satellites over time have drifted out of position, making them useless. Not understanding anything the robot just said about satellites, Dale focused the robot back on the abilities of the walkie-talkies that are functional. In woods, what is the distance of the tactical walkie-talkies? The android's head swiveled back towards Dale. I assume you mean in a temperate forest of the American Northeast. 1 to 2 miles, depending on hills and the density of the woods. These all work? The flashlights, the walkie-talkies? Zoop turned the attention of the robot's head back to him. Yes, sir. As of our programming, we maintain all systems and tools in the shelter on a regular schedule. You will find them all functional. The android pointed to the cabinet's bottom drawers. There, you will find additional battery packs for the flashlights and walkie-talkies. Would you need us to manufacture additional batteries? Opening the drawer and looking at the additional batteries. If these work, it should be enough for now. Zup responded. You maintained everything for over 1,500 years? Dale asked the android. Like clockwork, sir, the robot replied. But who maintains you? Pixa was curious, turning its head slightly up to look at her. We maintain each other. It is also a part of our maintenance schedule. Mr. Weston thought of everything. Well, not everything. Dale answered, thinking of Weston's lack of foresight and his descendants inbreeding to a biological dead end. Not everything? The machine was confused. Sorry, not important. Dale did not want to explain to the mechanical human. Zup picked up one of the portable searchlights and pointed it towards Pixa and Dale. Does this turn it on? He pressed the red trigger on the gun grip handle before the android could answer. A bright flood of light shined on Dale and Pixa, forcing both of them to instinctively tightly close their eyes, while blocking the intense light with their forearms. Shut it off! Dale shouted. It works! Sorry. Zoop released the trigger. Wow, I could feel the boost. Pixa moved her arm away from her eyes, smiling as if she had just gotten a shot of adrenaline. Its energy is almost as strong as a flash of a lightning strike, but more consistent. The book mentioned that lightning also gives off ultraviolet light, Dale remembered. But I didn't see how we could harness lightning for our benefit. Zup looked at the flashlight he was still holding. If these can blind both of you, it will easily blind them. Zup grinned at Dale. I apologize for my thinking that you were wasting time in those old books. Dale unslung his Warson assault rifle and held it up to the robot. Can you make more of these? Of course. The robot replied, "How many do you wish?" "How many?" Zoop was set back how nonchalant the machine responded in its ability to mass-produce human weapons of war. "How long to make one?" Dale asked, still holding his weapon up to the machine. "Printing the parts and assembly, 24 hours. The android calmly answered. Dale released the magazine on his weapon and showed the ammunition in it. "What of the rounds?" Examining the rounds in the magazine, the machine looked at Dale. 24 hours we can produce 5,000 rounds. Zup was shocked. 5,000 rounds in one day? The android looked at Zoop. "Yes, sir, but we need 2 days to first make smokeless powder. Once we have the powder, we can do 5,000 rounds in 24 hours. It stopped as it calculated its inventory. "We would need additional chemicals for smokeless powder, if you wish for us to continue manufacturing the rounds." "So 3 days, you can have 5,000 additional rounds ready?" Dale wanted to confirm. "Yes, sir. 3 days you will have your 5,000 rounds." The android responded. "Do you wish to proceed, or are making additional Warson rifles?" "Start on the rounds," Dale ordered. "As you wish, sir." The android with Bluetooth silently directed the other 2 industrial androids that immediately began the process. 10 minutes later, back on the surface, the wagon was full of the arms and additional ammo cans. In the distance, the pile of dead demonoids burned as the sun was just beginning to dip behind the western tree line. "Chopson, I want you to choose 10 men." "What for?" Chopson did not like the tone in Dale's voice. "We need to protect the shelter," Dale explained. "There are 10 more Warson rifles in the hallway cabinet. Arm your men with those. We need to hold the shelter until the additional rounds are manufactured, and more importantly, protect the library until we can retrieve all the books. You'll have everything you need below to live very comfortably." "Our horses?" Chopson realized they could not bring them down into the shelter, and when night fell, they would fall victim if another demonoid raiding party returned, or worse, a Derdnu. Dale thought, "I know what you mean. We'll take the horses with us. In 4 days, we'll send another 2 wagons with fresh horses for you in the library. She may send glass-type humans. That won't be stopped by the artificial lights." "I assume you don't want us to use the ammunition," Chopson guessed. "Only if that is your last hope in defending the library," Dale answered. "I'd rather you burn through every round than lose a single volume. But yes, stick to bladed weapons. The flashlights if she sends demonoids or tormentors." "Like Kia, I do not want to miss out on the main battle," Chopson protested. "If I can get the wagons back to you in 8 days, you won't," Dale replied. "Her siege weapons won't be ready for another week. I hope we will be ready to come to Neathton's aid in less than 3 weeks. He turned to Zup. "Do you think Trigor could hold for 2 weeks?" "A fortnight? Our walls are tall and thick. Our archers are accurate. I think the prince can hold." Zoop was hopeful, but his face did not look confident. Chopson picked 10 men to stay behind with him. Dale handed out vests to Chopson and Zup. Due to Josh's 4 arms, Josh was unable to use a vest. The remaining 8 vests were given to 8 of the men riding back. Dale held up the walkie-talkie as he addressed Chopson. "I wish I could leave one of these with you. But through these woods we will be out of range with each other in less than an hour. I will check with Greendale. But I think these could give us another strategic advantage in breaking her siege." "I understand." Chopson realized that once Dale rode off with the rest of the group, he and the 10 men he had chosen to stay behind will be cut off and isolated. "Just get back quickly." Pixa looking to the sun. "If we are to go, we should go now. When night falls, they may be back in greater force." Dale looked at the sun behind them that was now halfway behind the tree line. If they were lucky, they might have a half-hour of daylight left. "We'll travel until we reach the Riverside Inn. When the sun fades, you can sleep in the wagon." "I rather stay with you," Pixa insisted. "It may not be as comfortable as the wagon, but gripping your saddle horn, I feel more secure." "As you wish, Pixa. I wish." She smiled at him. Dale turned to Chopson and his 10 men and gave them all a casual salute. "Hold." Do not let them touch a single page of those books. The men all stood up straight as they smartly saluted. I, Major Dale. Please continue to Chapter 44. To support the author, please like, share, comment, and subscribe.